Cafe Rio sweet pork is super flavorful and easy to make at home in your slow cooker. It's perfect for when you're feeling like eating out while at home and recreating your favorite pork salads, burritos, and tacos, since we don't live anywhere near a Cafe Rio. One of the things I miss most from when I lived in Utah is all the yummy food. This Cafe Rio pork salad is loaded with lime, rice, black beans, guacamole, pico de gallo, cilantro lime ranch dressing, cheese, fresh cilantro, lime wedges, and of course plenty of juicy tender pork. And of course there's juicy romaine lettuce too. It's a salad after all. This slow roasted sweet shredded pork is my favorite hands down, and I like it in the salad form best. It may look like it's a bit of work to make all of the components yourself at home, but if you cook the meat the day before, this meal is perfect for doubling, which makes it even better for special events at parties and reunions. The trick is to cook this low and slow.
So I always start mine with a crock pot and one package of pork loin. Now everyone has different views on what type of meat. I like the pork loin because it doesn't have a lot of fat. I rinse off that pork loin and drain the water, and now I'm going to put in a full container of paste salsa. Now if your kids don't like the large flecks, one thing you can do is blend it up in the blender so that you can't see anything at all. And then 2 cups of brown sugar. I know there's tons of recipes out there with many more ingredients to add to make your pork top notch. But to me, the secret ingredient is in the dressing, the homemade cilantro lime dressing. So that's where we're going to spend our time. Put that in the crock pot, and 6 hours later, this is what your meat looks like. There isn't a lot of grease on it. It's just the salsa with the pork juice and the brown sugar. And once the meat is ready, it's going to shred apart. These bear claws are perfect when it comes to shredding meat. It's one of my favorite tools in the kitchen, and I will post a link for that in the description below so that you can find these on Amazon too. Because if you love shredded meat, these are a must-have. Now onto the lettuce. Now you can use any type of lettuce you'd like. You can use a mixture of lettuce. I'm one that prefers a romaine lettuce for this meal. I just like the dark green colors and the crispness of it. What's important to note is when you're cutting this lettuce up, because it's going into a salad, it needs to be in smaller bite-sized pieces so that it's easier to consume. Also, after I'm done cutting this up is when I'm going to put it in my salad spinner and make sure that it's extra clean. I find it's easier to wash the lettuce if it's been cut into smaller pieces, so that I can fit a lot more on into my salad spinner, and I can clean it, I think, quicker than if I was trying to put in a whole piece of lettuce. Just a little note, a little trick that I like to do when preparing my salad. Let's speed up this video, dry this salad, and get on to making the rice. Now for my Cafe Rio recipe, I like to do coconut rice. And so it's done as simply with little ingredients as possible, is measuring out the rice as per the rice cooker amount, rinsing off the rice at least 3 times, and then rather than adding water, I add to the water line that same amount, but with the coconut milk from my fridge, because that's what I put on my cereal and whatnot is coconut milk. So I have a carton of that on hand. The next ingredient needed for the Cafe Rio salad is a large can of black beans. Now, one step that you need to note is that the beans do need to be rinsed. Some people just put them on as is. I think you need to rinse off that salt that it's been soaking in and all the other stuff, and make sure that it's nice and clean. I always put black beans on the side so that people can put as many as they'd like on their dish, because I serve this as a buffet style meal. Just before serving, add juice and zest of some limes. Then you've got your black beans, your lettuce, the pulled pork as it's soaked in all of that salsa and brown sugar, your grated cheese. If you'd like to use jalapeno one, you can, fresh tomatoes. If you like having peppers, that's also a great thing to add. Your salsa varieties, pico de gallo, ranch dressing, and then here is the thing you've been waiting for, the cilantro lime dressing. Now, because I'm gluten-free, when I put a tortilla underneath mine, I like to heat mine up first.
If you're looking for another great recipe that feeds a crowd, Hawaiian haystacks is another great option and one of my other favorites. You can click on the link right here to watch that video.
Now, this dressing amount should feed up to 15 people. So you start with 750 ml container of sour cream. I'm going to put this all in my mixer and blend it all together. Next, add the juice and zest of 2 limes. Now, my kitchen was missing the actual lime, so I did lime juice instead, which is 4 tablespoons of lime juice added to the sour cream. The next ingredient is 1.5 cups of ranch dressing. And yes, that sounds like a lot, but you are making this for 15 people. Next, add 3 teaspoons of crushed garlic. This is the most amazing product to replace your cilantro, because in this recipe you need 2 bunches of cilantro with no stems, or 2 tablespoons of this. And I don't know about you, I love cilantro. My husband, on the other hand, thinks it tastes like soap. So not everyone loves cilantro as much as I do. What are your thoughts about cilantro? And the last ingredient is 1/2 cup of salsa verde, or you can use regular kind of salsa. I love to use the fresh salsa from Costco. To me, that is the best salsa in the world. Blend all of those together until smooth, and then you're ready to serve your Cafe Rio. So let's put this all together. You've got your tortilla shell, rice, sprinkle with a little bit of lime juice on top to your preference, then your black beans, your romaine lettuce, or if you'd like leaf lettuce, it doesn't matter. Pulled pork on top of that, and then sprinkled with a little bit of cheese. I love just using a marble cheese, but you can do I did not have any tomatoes for this one, so salsa was my only option for that. But I did have guacamole. This is my favorite guacamole that I get at Costco. I love it because it's in 3 individual containers so that they stay fresh for as long as possible. So this meal I got to have guacamole on, whereas when I did it for the family, no guac was on hand. After that, you put on your cilantro lime dressing, and I'm putting a little bit of tortilla chips that are gluten-free on top for a little extra crunch.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're enjoying the content that I'm trying to put out on my YouTube channel, I'd love for you to subscribe. Hopefully, in my search to find kindred spirits, you are one of them and you want to be part of this community. I appreciate your patience as I continue to learn and grow. I want to thank those of you that have already subscribed. I am extremely grateful and I appreciate your support. Hope you enjoy this recipe as it's one of my favorites. I will see you all next week.